I'm Sergeant Major, served with the Marine Corps during the Second World War, and I was born, they call it Old Coal Mine, in 1922. It's about 16 miles from Tibbet City, and I was not born at the hospital, but there's a coal mine canyon, is what they call it. I was born there. Then when I got to be about 6 years old, I came to school, to boarding school, you know. So I went to school there. And right now my age is 82 years old right now. Then in the year of 1942, they were trying to recruit some Navajo, so I did volunteer into a service, but I was turned down at Fort Wingate, New Mexico, caused a little problem with my health. So I went back to school in Tibbet City. Then right after the school was out, I went to Flagstaff. Then I volunteered again. Finally, they sent me down to Phoenix. I took my physical. When I took my physical, finally I passed. And since I volunteered, I can select any service. So I did. That's when I got into Marine Corps.
Why did you choose the Marine Corps?
I like their uniform. I heard about they were brave, they were good fighters and all that, concerning. I thought I was tough, but I was not.
No.
Yeah.
Did you found out you weren't tough when you went to war? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I just want to be in, I'm not really planning to be in the war, no. I just want to be in the service. That's all that's in my mind since I was very young.
How old were you?
I was just past over 18 years old when I first volunteered, back when I was almost close to 19 years old. That's when I volunteered again.
Who did you volunteer by yourself? Or?
Yeah. I kind of lied to my mom that I was drafted. So that's why I got in. I'm not the only one. There's quite a few code talkers that say that they were young. Some were 16 when they went in. But at that time, they really didn't care about the age. The age. If you lie by your age, they accept it. That's why I got into. So I took my boot camp training in San Diego. Within 7 weeks, I was through with my boot camp training. Since I was a volunteer, I was eligible to select any branch in Marine Corps. So this time I was asked a question about what tribe I was in. I told I'm Navajo. So this when they told me that there's a Navajo with a communication. They don't call the code talker that time. It was called it was very secret, confidential what we were doing. So they sent me to Camp Pendleton, and there were quite a few Navajos there. So within 5 months, I took my training. I took some tests, and it was really hard because the words, some were ABC, and it goes into the vocabulary. That's the hardest part there. The other, once you learn how to say ABC, it's not too hard, but the vocabulary you have to really learn by heart, because we were told we're not going to carry any kind of paper with us that is about the code we got. So that's the reason why they told us that if you make any mistake, it might cost somebody's life. So Within 5 months, they sent me. They were 4th Marine Division. Well, there's 6th Division of Marine Corps. So this 4th Marine Division was going overseas. So the 1 division, it forms about 20,000 men in their service there. So they attached me to that 4th Marine Division with 23 other Navajos. So, but they divided us into different, some were in 25th Regiment. I was in 25th Regiment. And there was some 24th Regiment, and there also 23rd Regiment. We were not together. They were all different divisions there. 1 division in different regiment. So.
Were there Navajos that you knew?
Yeah. Well, because I took training with them. 5 months, I got to know them.
But did you know them before?
No.
Did you know them
only about Samuel Holiday's the only one I know them. Not the others, so.
So you knew Samuel Holiday from when you were a young boy?
I went to school with him. That's how I got to know them. And the person that kind of gave me the background was John Benali. He was the first bunch that went in because he was an instructor here in Tuba City. He was appointed to be recruit all the coat tar.
I see.
So that's how I got it through him,
Was he a code talker?
Yeah.
So he trained to be a code talker, and then
he
was one that became a teacher.
Yeah, they sent him. There's 2 other Marine. They told him to recruit them, so they went around all the reservation. John Benali and I think what's they called him Roy Husky. He was our football coach here in Tuba City too. So through then, that's how I got in.
What was your Navajo name?
The red boy, Keith Chi. That was my name.
What did it mean?
Keith Chi is a red boy.
So
I didn't have no English name until I came to school. My oldest brother, his name was Akee. That's a boy. So they asked me, "You have any name?" No, I told them we have no English name. Then that's when they told her, my brother was Lee. Your name is Lee Akee, and you're Dan Akee. That's how we got our name. In 1931, that's when the census people went around and gave a lot of names around the reservation. And a lot of people didn't have no name, English name.
So that's how old were you when they gave you that name?
You mean when I got my name? This is when I was born.
But I mean the English name. When did they?
Oh, that was when I was only 6 years old. That's probably about 1928.
Was that difficult when you were told that was your name? Was that kind of hard to?
No, there's no difficult.
You just accepted
it was just I know there's some people with the English name. I heard about it, but since it's very important to have an English name.
So tell me about school. Where did you go to school?
Here in Tuba City.
Was it a boarding school?
Boarding school.
And you started when you were 6 years old, or?
Yeah.
Did you have to speak English, or did you know English then?
No, what happened was I didn't start with school until I was about 8 years old, because when I came to school, there were a lot of tuberculosis TB going around the reservation, and I have that tuberculosis disease. They found out when I came to school, so they sent me to Chianti. So I spent over there 2 years. That's where I learned my English before I started going to school. Then I took up here, this sent me back to the city, started school when I was 8 years old.
So you didn't have the experience of not knowing English and having to be forced to learn English?
No, when I came to school, when I was over 6 years, I don't know nothing about the English, no, because my family don't know English. There's nobody that understands English from my family, so. But I learned it when I was in the hospital there.
And so, was it easy for you to learn English?
I catch on, you know, or they talk, and I know how to say yes or no, and then good morning, something like that. Started with no, and we usually start having class, no. They teach us over there. Finally, I got to catch on with my English there.
Tell me about your parents.
My parents, my mother never went to school. And also my father never went to school. And that's how mostly I was raised there without no English.
But I'm sure they had learning of a different type.
Huh?
They had a different kind of learning.
Well, only Navajo language, that's the only one they know.
What did they do? Were they farmers?
We raise sheep, and also my mom used to do weaving. Mostly we're living on herding sheep, raising livestock.
Do you remember your grandparents?
Yeah, I used to know, but I don't know their name.
Do you remember seeing them?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Did they tell you stories, or did you learn anything from them that they said about the old ways?
No. It's a traditional way, you know. A lot of they tell the story about the more traditional, but I never did care to learn it.
No?
No.
So as a young boy, what did you do? Like, how were you raised?
Most of the time I was raised was herding sheep. Yeah.
So when you went to school, tell me about that experience. How did you feel about going to school?
Well, I don't know. If I start going to school right away, it might have different, but since I ended in the hospital, and that's mostly I stayed there for 2 years. But when I know my English already within 2 years, so I didn't have no problem when I came to boarding school. No, I taught English mostly.
So were you able to help the other children?
No, I don't even thinking about that, because they are trained to learn English there by the teachers. No, I know that I usually taught more in English.
But when you spoke Navajo at school, were you punished?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me, did they punish you when you spoke Navajo?
Yeah, from the start, I don't know too much about it. Later on, when I got to be very close to about 7th grade, we were forbidden about using the Navajo words. We were told we'd use English all the time.
Did they punish you?
Yeah, they see you, or in Navajo they be punished.
What did they do? What was the punishment?
They had a special what they call brown soap, bitter. That's sometimes they put you in your mouth. Sometimes they punish for some way that doing the work or something like that.
How did you leave school?
Well, when I was only in 10th grade, that's when I volunteered into Marine Corps. Then they sent me with 4th Marine Division right straight from the United States into combat. That was in Marshall Island, Kwajalein, Lola Moore. That was my first combat I was in with the 4th Marine Division. After we secured that island, they sent us back to Maui. that was our main camp there, because there's no other place that the division can stay, so they prepare a camp for us. So we refreshed with our words we got together. Then from there, they formed a division and start, attack Saipan. So I was with them at Saipan. So there, after we secured that, then we attacked Tinian. That was my third invasion. I was on there. So Tinian is the place where they load the atomic bomb. I went back over there about 6 years ago. They invite me because of the 50th anniversary there. So I went back over there, and it was a really different place what I seen in both islands there. Then after that, after we secured that island, that Tinian, they sent us back to Maui again. We trained again, and got some more recruit, From there, we started going again. They won't tell us right away, until within 2 days. Then they give us where we're going to land, what we're going to do, because they don't want to tell us from the start. So that's the time I went to Iwo Jima. So I was with them at the combat Iwo Jima. So it is the way I understand that Iwo Jima is known as one of the bloodiest battles they ever had in the history of the Marine Corps. So only what I'll say is true, because I've seen there's more our soldiers have been killed there on the island there. So also there was 4 Navajo got killed there, Coat Talker, and also there was some wounded there. But I was getting tired of all the battle I went through, and of course I was scared. And if I'm going to make it this time or not, that's in my mind, And somehow I got fear came up on me on the third night. Something happened. I was shaking. I was sweating because they were shelling us all night there. So by the time about 3 o'clock in the morning, towards morning, that's when it happened. So I feel like running. Where shall I go? That's my mind. But somehow, I don't know. I left there. I was out of my mind until they got hold of me. Before I left that place where I was staying at my foxhole, and I said, God help me. I'm too young to die. That's what I said before I left. So they got a hold of me there, and they gave me some kind of shot. They calmed me down, and that's, ever since then, I did have a problem. And something had happened to me, it was all in my mind, all the combat I went through. So I thought they sent me back to Maui again with a recruit. We started recruiting because it was really not nice to hear that all the men that were lost. One of the highest casualty, 4th Marine Division, since they anticipate more action than any other division, and that's the reason why we have one of the highest casualty in the division there. So I'm one of them that survived there. So as we were training again, we were told that we're going to hit someplace again. They never told us so. But until one morning, everybody was hauling around, and towards 4 o'clock. And that's when I heard. I was kind of walk out there, and I heard the war is over. So that's how the next morning, they told us that war is over. So we start. Within a few days, since I have a lot of point, all I knew was 55, I think, or 50 around there, but I have over 80 points, so I had no problem because all the combat I served and the war I got there. So So I was one of the first one I was told that I'm going home. So that's how it happened, all this. But after that, when I got discharged, I came back and I do have a little problem, so I went back to school at Sherman Institute, that's close to Riverside in California. So I took undergrad, I went to school there, and that year, close to school, I started having a nightmare. Every night I was having nightmare comes up on me, dreaming about. So what happened was that after the school out, I came back home here in Tiver City, and that's when I still have a nightmare about war. So until one day in July, I saw a vision. I don't know what it was. A lady came up against me with blank face. So that's when I fainted out. It was close to evening time. So I was unconscious for some time. But that time they don't really depend on the hospital. Those years mostly was their own traditional way of prayer or singing. Then when I came my conscious, they were having ceremony on me. Then they told me what was the cause of that old nightmare. Since I went with the Japanese in the Pacific, fighting one, then that's the cause. That's when they start talking about the only way that you can get cure is have a ceremony on me, which they call the score dance. That's more like when you go to war, they used to have this one. So that's what they did, But at the score dance, it didn't help me much. But I was still, sick. They performed a lot of ceremony on me, but I never could cure. So sometimes I start thinking, what's the use? Nobody going to help me, hospital, anything like that, And the only way I kept myself was awake at night, some kind of drink, beer or wine to keep me awake. But then I usually sleep. By this time, I went to Flagstaff, I was not working, but I started drifting there. All I was doing, I was not even don't have any money there, but I was just begging for a quarter. From there I went to Phoenix. And that's the way I started over there again. Drink until one day that I can't stand it. So I came back to Flagstaff and I went to a doctor. One doctor told me that, do you drink? And I said yes. Then he told me that I had liver disease. That's what I was told. Then he told me that so you have 50-50 chance to live. He damaged your liver already. So if you quit, you might live. If you don't quit, I'm telling you the truth, you're going to die from it. That's what I was told. So I told him, thank you. So I started walking to the door. Just when I got to the door, he called me back. He told me to sit down. So that's the time that I found out that this doctor was a Christian man. He was a Christian man. So he started talking to me. Do you ever go to these meetings? I said, what meeting? Church. And when he started talking to me, for about 45 minutes, that's your only hope. If your people can pray for you and God can help you, all that, So I started thinking about it. As he was talking to me, I felt a whole lot better. And that's why when he got through with me, I went back home where I was staying. Then I used to hide bottle, took it all out, destroy it. I walk all my cigarette, no more. Ever since then, it's 47 years ago now. From there, I quit and started going to church, So that's how I ended up. I was never treated for that disease because I think all people were praying for me, So that's how I ended up, So after I started going to church, I really interested in God's Word. So that's when I got interested to tell my people what I used to do, what happened to me. And that's how I ended up as a minister. I became a minister, so I used to run the church in Flagstaff, and over here, Assembly of God Church and all that. And then I used to work for a railroad in Santa Fe for 15 years, but I resigned from there because I want to go to the reservation. So I got a job here at Red Metal with uranium, but after it was expired, I applied for it. This is right connecting with the job now. After I was laid off, because the El Paso natural gas, the government contract was expired. So they discharged me the last one. Laid off the last one. So within 2 days, one of the men I know came over to me. They need an interpreter at Tuba City Hospital. So I went over there and applied for it. There was about 7 other men that applied for that job, but since I got one of the high scores, because I know more about my medical terminology in Navajo, because I learned a lot of it from the Bible, and that's how I got a job. From there I worked 21 years with the public health, 15 years. Altogether I worked 4 to 5 years, and with the military I worked 4 to 4. And that's how I ended up. After I retired, that's I was in good health, and it's something that I usually like to do. I talked to a lot of people at the hospital with a problem, home problem, alcohol problem. They used to send it to me in my office. I was an interpreter. I used to interpret with doctors, and a lot of them listened to me because I do have great experience with what I used to do. So that's how I am. Today I used to be a Sunday school teacher a long time, and so right now I just continue going to church. That's all. I'm not running any more churches. Some young people, we have a church over here about 3 miles there. I helped them to build that church. I helped them over here at Assembly of God Church. When I was a pastor, they got that church up there. It used to be over here by McDonald. So most of the time, because of being a Christian, we had to have a wonderful life.
Tell me about when you got married. You were married before the war?
Yes. That's when I was sick. They were having a school dance. That's when my wife came by, and I met her there, because so happened that my father's aunt was married to his grandfather, second wife. So happened to know my father's aunt, so they came all to help me. That's when she came with the providing sheep, for the ceremony, and that's where I got to know him. I know him for about a year until we got used together, and so that's when we got married. That's in 1947. My wife's name used to be Brecker. Now his name is Akee, Margaret Brecker. So we have a big family.
How many children do you have?
We did have 12 children. There was 6 and 6 girls, but I lost 2 of them in a car accident. The other one had a blood disease on the young lady, so I lost 3 of them. So from that family, all those my children, we have 73 grandkids. Out of the 73, we have 23 great ones. So I do have a big family there.
You do? Do they speak Navajo?
Only my kids know. What I did was, since I have a hard time learning English, when they start going to school, I told them to use mostly English. And that's how they start English. By the time I noticed that their mom never went to school, they need to talk Navajo. That's how I told them, no. So he had to learn how to talk Navajo. Right now, all my grandkids know they don't. Only few of them, but they understand when you're talking to them, but they don't speak back with their Navajo. So I try to encourage them to speak their own language.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the Marine Corps? Did you feel like you were treated well in the service?
To tell you the truth, no, I was thinking that I was not being treated like that when I got to boot camp. And the way we've been treated, we have to, that's the only way we can learn to obedience, all that, giving an order, you have to obey, it's hard, boot camp. They don't take it easy on you. They met you, exercise, all what we could use in the Marine Corps. I found it was different, really different. They're strict, but I've seen a lot of white people living out of the city. They do have a hard time, but not in Navajos. Because we're being a reservation, we mostly on foot, run everything I did. So we didn't have no problem with the exercise or any kind of. We know already know what to do, even with our rifle. Because the way we raised, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel there was any discrimination?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't.
That's just the way they have to train the Marines. That's it.
So
no, they're not.
Just the strictness of the Marine Corps. You didn't find that these soldiers had any. No,
there's no such as discrimination. But in they really know about us Indian. That's why I think they got a lot of respect by the office when they introduce us. All that. They like the Indians. Also, when we get to know that in our outfit, we're more like brothers. That's the way I find out during my combat service.
Do you remember any one particular combat experience that was more important than another, or any story that was memorable?
Yes, yeah. I think all the important is you have to, since you were to use a communication, we have to learn how to operate the radios. How to give a signal, how to line a telephone line, all that. It's that's something that is very important, because we were assigned with a special group. It's a confidential, we're told. And that's the reason why every Navajo likes to anticipate, to learn more about what the combat, the military want us to do. And that's why most of the soldiers, we have a machine gun, rifle, grenade, all that. We're no different from the other people. That we have to use our own equipment. That's why we have to learn.
And then also make the communications.
Yeah, there was a special training we got. There's some. There are some just with the infantry. Like some Navajo Kotar, you probably heard about with the raiders. Raider is the one that fight behind our enemy line. There was about 18 of them, and they were under command of James Roosevelt and Carson Evans, that was the name of it. So, but they found out they were in the wrong position. That's why they got the Navajos back. I think happened in the Guadalcanal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and also there was some Navajo Kotar with a paratrooper too. So, see, we were just not anticipating only with the radio, but what the Marine want us to do, that we have to do it.
Do you remember any special communication? And was Samuel Holliday your partner?
Well, he was my partner, but we were not together. See, there was one man in the headquarters division with all the generals are. Then there's 3 regiments which they are assigned to the regiment. Then there's some battalion, there are company, all the way down. We were not together because if the platoon goes first, then the next one is the company, then battalion, then regiment. So it's all Navajos are attached to that. So in the front line, they usually tell us right before it happened. I was in the front line there, a Saipan. It's in the book. Somehow somebody got that book in there. They do have a Japanese interpreter for us. And that's how they intercept that they're going to have a banzai attack. Well, on Saipan, I think it was on the second night. Banzai attack is the one that was what this kind of suicide and stuff. They just come with force. So I got this message. It says there will be a banzai attack from the division headquarters in Navajo Code. So I received it. There will be a banzai attack. Just hold your position there. Don't move. Everybody, all the front line, they're thinking ready for it. So that's what I sent a message to all the division there. Where the Navajos, they've got the message and everybody knows. But the Japanese don't know what we said. No, we're ready. And I think there was very important things that we did. So about the time, about 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when the flare started going up, and that's why we have attack. If I haven't sent that message to all the company, all of the enforcement division, but the Japanese didn't know it, but we were ready, and that's how a lot of us life was saved. Because if it was a surprise attack, there would be a lot of our men would have been killed. And that's how, as far as we know, what we did, it saves lives because nobody understands.
Right. Were you ever mistaken for Japanese?
Samuel Holiday happened to him because so happened that he had pick some clothes from the Japanese, either shoes or notice it. Then he went we were back in the rest area. That's when it happened. And he wants to visit another person there, Navajo. That's why he got captured there by his own man. So they brought him back to our outfit where the rest is kept. See, we were fighting the front line on a certain time, or then they just sent us back. Somebody would be replace us, continue the battle. And that's when they brought him back, and he looked like more like Japanese.
Do you remember that? Were you saw
Yeah,
that?
I was there.
What did you say? No, that's our guy.
Well, these two guards that brought him back, somebody wanted to identify it. See, everybody know him. All my outfit know him. And there was one of them, they teasing, oh, we don't know him. There's one of the Japanese Tekken. And there's James Samuel, they, no. Finally, that's our man. So I kept telling him a lot of times, though, that are the things that we just have to watch ourselves now.
Really?
That's the only place. But some other came very close, you know.
Did you have any times in battle where you were almost hit or were you wounded?
No. A lot of times came close, very close.
Do you remember any of those times in particular?
Well, a lot of times, no. It's just mostly we're very close to the front line. Sometimes we're even with the front line. Like when we're landing, that's the worst part you can get. Like it happened that on TM, we landed. I was on I think it's second invasion or second. There's first bunch went in. I was on the second one there, and they were shelling us right there. I know they said we can't move. Told us stay. Then I heard one of my friends, he got shot. Then he appointed me, because I know him pretty well. He was holding his hand like this to me. But I can't make a target for myself, that's all. So I stayed there, and pretty soon his arm went down. I don't know what he was going to tell me, but it got into my mind, I should have went over there. But that's how some of these things were, it's very close call, I might say, because it so happened that we're told to go certain time to move, and we can't get back out. We just got to continue going with the other troop, with the other, continue.
So people were being killed around you?
Oh, yes, that's right. Especially on the beach when you're landing. One of the worst things I ever seen was on Iwo Jima. I went into third wave, and I seen right on the beach, body laying with all the pack. There was just more like a trash dump there. We just had to walk over, keep on moving. It's one of the worst scene I ever seen. With all the, I wonder whose boy was that. I wonder who was the. Getting you like doesn't make me think, But we just have to continue it on that,
How do you feel about war?
Since I went through a lot of it, with all the invasion I went through, I don't like it. I don't even like the decision was made by Bush. To me, let the people over there fight for themselves. Like Vietnam happened, they know it. It's some of the things that for just something that they're doing it, develop some kind of poison gas. That's the only reason. And they said, no, now what happened? They're still fighting. And two of my grandsons was over there. One came back not very long ago. He was among there. And I watched my TV every day when the war was still going on. I said, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, I think the way I think about it, since I went all through this, I think the United States can defend their country. In the United States, if somebody gets into our country and we have a strong military, that we can defend ourselves instead of moving over there. I think a little money will take. Look how much money they are using now. That could have been used for the American people. Jobs, here, school. I think it's just a waste of money to me. That's the way I feel about it. I don't like it. I think that when there is a problem with the United States, us Indians, not only Navajo, but American Indians are there to involve for defend their country. That's the way I believe now. There's a lot of them from here, Navajos, they are serving in the armed force now because it's their country. They want their peace, freedom. That's what they're fighting, but mostly they are all volunteer to me. They wanted to be in there. One of them, my Matthew's daughter was in the Navy. She just came back last week. I talked to her the other night. No, yesterday. He was just ready about discharge next month. So there's a lot of our Navajo, our Indian lady in the United States are with the military service now because they say that it's our country. We're the American, that's the way I feel about it now. But I'm saying that I don't like the war now, but somehow that they're the ones that volunteer.
Tell me about your medals that you have on here.
Well, so happened that at a Congress, we received one of the highest medal, Congressional Silver Medal. I have one, and which is something to remember, you know, but it took a long time, you know. When you get that kind of medal, you know, you are knowing that you're more than well, there's people, only one that receives is one of a hero, I might call it, for some special military in the war they do. They get that Congressional Medal of Honor. It's only just comparing with that, you know, I believe we have received what they call the Congressional Medal of Honor, you know, special people can receive it. So, at the Congress, they know what we did. We know right now that our language have made the history. Our language have made the history because the code it developed. It was not developed by any non-Navajo. It was developed by our own 29 Navajos, which is really something that I think it's all something that they start thinking about, or that I just can't say that, but something that is just unbelievable, I might say, how they put the words in to be used, which even in Navajo never had training, will never understand it. And with the foreign invasion, I have in the Pacific Theater there, for Battlestar. And I have a Navy citation. I received President Unit citation for the combat Saipan and Iwo Jima with a star in there. I have victory medal and all that, some other medal that I received, this, all that. No, I got some more over there, and also this is a medallion by the 4th Marine Division that was given to us in 1968, and that's it. And so.
And tell me about the necklace you have. That's beautiful.
Well, there's a story that goes with it, all our info. The red cap represent Marine Corps color. Then with the yellow, there's a corn powder, you know, when the corn stop, and there's a powder comes out there when you shake the yellow powder. They use it for prayer, so that represent that. And our pants, since the khaki pants color out the dirt, it represent the earth. And we have a shoes, black shoes, that's somewhat related to our prayer, that you shall walk with the iron shoes where you won't be defeated. That's the story to it. No? And our jewelry represent a turquoise. It's a moonlight sky, and also it goes with the pearl. They have some small pieces of shell, seashell, all that they use a pearl. And this is special to us, you know. And the silver, no, it's more like the belt, no, more the been with the Navajos for a long time, no. So it's really, it's we represent our Navajo nation right now. Everywhere we go, we represent our tribe, what we did. Sure, it's the language. I'm just like the instrument, but something that comes out in language is the one. It's the one that gives us a mean that we fight for our country. Right now, we're the first Indian to be among the Pentagon, among the heroes. So we're the first Indian to be among that Pentagon. So we have a showcase over there at Washington, D.C., where they visit every day. People visit there. We have there. And mostly even that movie they made, no, not the movie, but the book that was written by Sally, it's all over the world. I thank for her that there's some story that people read about us, you know, but I think individual Navajo code talker, one by one, have a different way they suffer on the war. I do have suffered quite a bit. Then I don't tell them what I went through. So there's a lot of things they don't know. They don't know. Well, there's if somebody asks us, no, we could tell, but the thing is, like I said, individual have a different way of suffering in this war. We can't tell by right from when we got into Marine Corps all the way until we got discharged. There's a lot of things that we did, no? Some are saving another person's life. That's it.
Well, I think you probably saved a lot of lives with what you did.
Well, it's known by now here in the United States that we save a lot of lives. Like, for example, there was a man by the name of Joki Ama, and he was a prisoner of war. He was not with the Marine Corps, but was the army at the Philippines, around there at the Bataan death march. He was the wooden bundle. But he was among those death march until they found out there was a named Joki Ama Kia'ama means in Japanese was the light. So they know. So they asked him, "Are you Japanese?" No, I'm Indian, American Indian. Kept on saying. So they separate from him with other people. Keeping. Why are you fighting against your own people? That's what was his story. Until one day they kept him in prison. You know? Then one day one of the interpreters, his name was Japanese, his name was Coin, noticed it. He heard what's over the radio. And that's what he said. I bet that's one of the Indians that we heard over the radio. That voice. He didn't say Indian, but the voice. So they took him over there to a big radio station. There, he listened to him. He said, I was really surprised to hear my own language. My own language. The only thing is, it don't make sense to me what they're using. The language they're using is the code. That's what he said. But later on, he was our special guest on Window Rock. And this when he told us what happened, he was thanking the Navajo code talker. Thank you for that. They keep me alive because of your language. Then when the code talker said, he said, that code was designed to save lives. That's what his answer. So it's true because he don't understand. The same way, no, the person don't have a training, he won't understand it.
Is there anything you'd like to say in closing? Any kind of special thing that you remember that you'd like to say?
Well, the only thing I would say is about us American Indian, that when there's a problem, we're among them. Because we're cold, that we're the first to be American. So we call them ourselves as American Indian now. It's in the United States. We are proud that we have a freedom here in the United States. And that's one of the important things that the government should know us by now. Sure, we've been treated, during the long walk. They were gathered because they were told that we're a troublemaker. And they made our great-great-grandparents to walk over to Fort Summer. Right now, I think the government realizes that we're morely a different people from the other tribe, that we did suffer. But now, the population used to be around 6 or 50,000 during the 1942. Now, it's going over to 400,000 Indian. It's one of the biggest reservation in the United States, which a lot of Navajos know. The only thing that I understand it, that we have a treaty was been signed by the government. There's a lot of them have been broken. I wish they could remember it and keep the treaty to remember us by what they said about the school, education, all that, to help us Navajo. That's the only thing sometimes, they break their treaty.
That was 1945?
Yeah.
When the war was over?
Yeah, I was discharged when I was taken. The same way with this one here, in L.A., Los Angeles. And that's where they are holding that Congressional Medal. This is a Congressional Silver Medal there. It's classified as an honor. It's a Congressional Medal honor resection on there, and the Navajo Code Tarka there. My rank is Sergeant Major. It was promotion by the Iwo Jima Committee when I was over there in at Camp Pendleton, Oceanside.
So that was after the war?
Yeah.
So all through the war you were what, private?
Private first class.
Private first class?
Yeah. That was in 1946. I went back to school down in California, and I was leaving after the school. That's when I was taken.
How many years have you been married?
57. 57 years.
Oh, and this is the G.I. Joe. And this is Dan's daughter, Barbara.
We were leaving from Albuquerque to Chicago. We were going to Chicago for 4th Marine Division Association. Of course, 4th Marine Division. I think it was I don't know how many years they've been getting together. So they invited us over the first time. That's when they, after that meeting, they released that confidential protocol. That's when it's taken there.
So this was before it was declassified.
Yeah.
And
that's me right here. That time we don't have no uniform. The Marine Corps provided us a plane down towards that trip there.
How old were you there?
I think I was 16 before I went to service.
Where was this taken?
I don't remember.
Good-looking boy.
Huh?
Good-looking boy.
Oh, yeah.
There was a picture of your wife when she was a young girl.
That's one of them.
That's her?
Look at the other one there.
So this is a picture of you
when I was still in the Marine Corps.
Oh,
that's my wife.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
She was how old there?
She was only 17 when I got married to her.
Come over in the light. Let me see. She was 17?
Yeah. She was only 16 when I met her.
Thank you very much.